Yo, Dre, I've got something to say. We're going to talk about the Rankin County Sheriff's Department today. With a case as extraordinary as Michael Cory, Jenkins, and Eddie Parker that we all talk about, the gun being placed in the mouth. And let's not forget, his hands were handcuffed, so the gun's placed in his mouth. And Eddie Terrell Parker had to see this happen to Michael Cory Jenkins and the trigger be pulled. Michael Cory Jenkins survives, so we learn what went on that night. What we've got to remember, though, is all the other cases before that they were able to put off, say the NBI's investigating, and ignore all the requests for records to tell Damien Cameron's mom that there wasn't enough evidence, even though she witnessed the whole thing and they never questioned her. So first, the night of January 24th, the night of Michael Cory Jenkins and Eddie Parker were tortured for an hour and 45 minutes with no warrant. 6 white cops walked into that home and tortured them. Keep in mind, Eddie Parker's skin shows torture scars. Not only was Michael Cory Jenkins shot in the mouth, handcuffed, but they were handcuffed, stripped down naked, and repeatedly tased over and over again. Repeatedly tased, handcuffed, and tased over and over. We're talking about some sick puppies that are doing this. Not to mention waterboarded, not to mention the sexual assault. There's a pattern of behavior here that went on. There were a lot of us that were sounding the alarm before January 24th. Monica Lee Cameron, Damien Cameron's mom, was sounding the alarm. He went through a lot of that same torture. He didn't survive it. And in that case, they referred to the NBI's investigating, so they couldn't share anything. Well, then the NBI says you're going to have to refer it to the grand jury. Not enough evidence to press charges. Was there enough evidence now? You think we've got enough evidence? You think it's time to reopen that? I think we know who the murderer is now. It's Hunter Elward. Hunter Elward and Deputy Luke Stigman murdered Damien Cameron July 26, 2021. You know, Damien Cameron was one of 5 men killed by the Rankin County Sheriff's Department in 8 months in 2021. He was one of 3 in-custody deaths. Another man, Cory Jackson. Cory Jackson was a white man. He was having a mental health crisis, and he died in the jail cell. Now, when asked about it, Brian Bailey, the Rankin County Sheriff's Department sheriff, told the Insider, he didn't die in our custody. He died at the hospital. Police lie. Police lie. And he was lying right there. Because since then, the tape has come out. And do you know, they had him in a restraint chair. He was just hallucinating. He was having a mental health crisis and he died. Do you know? None of us do. I can't imagine what it's like to die of a mental health crisis. I can't imagine, but it can't be too pleasant. He was throwing a massive fit and died. The coroner said he died there in the jail cell. Did you know when he was pronounced dead, he still was handcuffed? Sounds like somebody needs to answer to Cory Jackson's death as well. There were other deaths. Adam Coker died at the jail cell, Rankin County Sheriff's Department. Trevor McKinney shot to death by the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. It's going on and on. 2019, Pierre Woods. There's a lot of work that needs to be done by the Department of Justice. They're certainly not doing it in Rankin County. Here's a little situation of how things go in Rankin County. So when you're asking the Rankin County Sheriff's Department for evidence, like in Damien Cameron or Cory Jackson, both, they say, well, we can't comment. The MBI, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, is investigating. Well, then the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, like Cory Jackson said, they can't comment, so they refer questions to the Rankin County DA. Well, then when you reach out to the Rankin County DA for comment, he says, "We don't pursue charges at jailhouse deaths." What happens there? What kind of accountability do we have for Cory Jackson's family there? If there's ever been a reason to shut it down, it's the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. People are killed. And this Michael Cory Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker torture situation. Remember, those men were handcuffed through it all. And while being handcuffed, tortured. Remember all the men that lost their lives before Michael Cory Jenkins and Eddie Parker. Eddie Parker's a hero for saying, "Hey, this went down to my brother Michael Cory Jenkins here. This happened." Michael Cory Jenkins said that he sleeps with his mommy and his daddy now. It's a man in his 30s. They took his dignity away. I think it's important that we look into the culture of policing in America, specifically policing in Mississippi, because next door to Rankin County, you have Smith County, Mississippi, which is where Rasheem Carter's body parts, little by little, are being found. And there's involvement, allegedly, from the chief of police of Taylorsville, Gay Bourne. Y'all, we've got lots of talking to do about a lot of serial killers. There's a lot of mass murderers. And they wear badges and they have guns in Mississippi. We'll continue this conversation. Yo, Dre, I've got something to say.